Hey, what's up, ecosystem? What's the volume? What's the value? Auto auction sales, car dealer inventory, new car production. How about remarketing, reconditioning, online car buying, lease turn-ins, and repo? You want to know where the cars are, or what's behind those load board numbers, or what current market trends are coming up next? Black Book has been assessing volume and vehicle values for decades. They release market updates, reports, white papers, and articles regularly. They set the standard in car market value. And Black Book is here tonight. Paul Machin, Laura Wehunt, Alex Yurchenko, joined by CTS Ty, Superflow Mark, C4 Auto Group Ken Clark, and McCloskey Motors Mike Phillips. So please join us in the live chat, ask questions, and grow your business. It's Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome to the show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me again on a Tuesday night. It's Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel, and thank you for coming back. I sure do appreciate it. This is a big show. This is a big one. We've been looking for, always looking for the next level, and Black Book might be a signifier of that next level. But let me say this, I do want you to feel welcome. Please let me know. Mic check. How's the audio, by the way, too? My check, check. A little loud. Is it loud? Is it me? Check, check. Please do say welcome. Hello. Please say hello in the live chat. So I'll let you in on a secret. So right before I went live, I got this notification about the bit rate. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I made this last second settings change. It was like 759 and a half. It threw me off a little bit. So I think everything's okay, but please let me know. Okay. All right. Please feel welcome. Say hello. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go say hello in the live chat. We're going to do that in a few minutes. As you know, I like to get to industry news. What's industry news? Social media news, vehicle value, dealer, auction, carrier, broker. There's lots of information, and I try to move it around nationwide, globally, and then bring it back home. So that's industry news. Okay, what do we got going on tonight? This is the Black Book Show. Yeah, you know what? I'm a little bit nervous. I hope Black Book's a little bit nervous too, so then we can balance each other out. I'm excited. Black Book's on the show tonight. Paul Machin, he is Director of Strategic Accounts. Laura Wehunt, she's on the art side of the data. And Alex Yurchenko on the science side of the data. And we're going to be joined by Superflow Mark, CTS Ty, and we're going to talk about market insight. And after we do that, we're going to bring in two car dealer guys, Ken from C4 Auto and Mike McCloskey Motors. Okay, cool. And I'm going to go into the live chat. Thank you guys so much for saying hello in the live chat. We're going to go into the live chat in a minute. It's a big part of the show. Ooh, do me a favor. You see that share button on your screen. You're watching YouTube, and right below there's a share button. And there's a like button. Please hit both. And then with the share button, you can click copy. You can copy the YouTube link. Please take that YouTube link, copy it, text it, email it, share it on social media. Let your friends know, listen, this is the Black Book Show. It's happening right now. You don't want to miss it, so you can do that. Do me a favor. Also, check this out. Sign up as an ATI Insider. You can go to autotransportintel.com. We will share the link in the show. In fact, here, I'm going to grab the link right now. You want to do this. If you want to grow your car shipping business, talk to Ty, sit at the round table, get on the list, become an ATI Insider. It's free. It's how you become part of the community. Other than joining the live chat and saying hello, are you ready for the next step? Do that. Do me a favor. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
That's the voice of Sue, Murphy Auto Transport. She runs a dispatch office and is also a fully licensed broker. She has been in the business for years and she knows what she's doing. If you're looking for dispatch help, you want to talk to Sue at Murphy Auto. She's also my co-host every Thursday on Dispatching Live at noon. So if you're ready for information and fun and games, Dispatching Live is the show for you. I'm not kidding. If you've seen the show, that show's crazy. All right? But we got to keep it real. We have a lot to talk about. And speaking of that, let's go into the live chat. Guys, thanks so much. And by the way, look at that. Ty is already in here. Ty. I don't. For that, I think I need a bell. Actually, I have a little bell over here. Let's see if I can get this. Ty, this is for you. All right, thanks, buddy. Thank you so much for kicking off the super chat tonight. The best car shipping business channel. Thank you, buddy. I'm going to rewind the live chat. Let me get to the beginning. Let me start at the top. Mark Grodicke was in here first from Superflow Systems. He's looking forward to the show tonight. By the way, I'm going to come back to the live chat. Please do say hello. Let us know where you are. Let us know what information will help you, right? We're talking market information, volume, and value. What do you need to know? This is the show. So Mark at Superflow was here first. Ty, he says hello. Jesse, JJK, hey, it's been a while. Yeah, what's up, Jesse? It has been a while. Kimberly's in here. Thank you, Kimberly, for helping out in the live chat. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics is in here. Jay Wilson, hey, what's up? JRW Prime Transport. Thank you for posting that. I never get tired of that. Let me know what company you are. Let me know where you are. Let me know your route, even though we're not searching routes today, but you can save that for Thursday. Yes, Ty is the auction whisperer. David, I feel like Bruce Buffer. It's time. David, I feel like Bruce Buffer. I don't know what that is. It's David with Two Bears Transportation LLC. Bruce Buffer. What's Bruce Buffer? I don't know, man. But I'm curious now. You got me. Andrew Serka, what's going on? Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. Doug Meehan, howdy from Only the Best Transport. Hey, Doug, thanks for saying hello. The audio's bueno. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It seemed a little hot, but yeah, I think we're good now. And also, let me know if that audio bit rate setting, like, let me know how the audio bit rate, does it sound right? It should be great. Everything should be good now. Oh, what do we got? Oh, Ryan is in here. Ryan is in here with his super chat. Thank you, Ryan. I do appreciate it, man. That's super cool. Now, Ryan, let me just say this. AutoConverse, you can go to autoconversion.net, and Ryan also has the AutoConverse podcast. And I co-host every other week with Ryan on the MTC show on autoconversion.net. So if you have a question, hey man, if you have a digital marketing tech stack question, you got a technical question, you can't figure it out, man, dude, Ryan is all about tech, which is great, man. I can't do that piece, man. I appreciate what you do. David wasn't there. The Kel. I'm good. All right, David says good. Kelly Blues book. Kelly Blue book. Yes. Yes. We're gonna settle the debate. Chicken or the egg? Kelly Blue book or Black book? Stick around for the answer. You're gonna like it. Reggie McCorkle says hello. Laura Wehunt, thank you for having us. Thanks for coming, Laura. That's awesome. Larry Richter says hello. What's up, Larry? Alex is happy to be on the show. What's up, Alex? There's Sue's information. Hey, guys, I didn't realize Mike was on. Yeah, you know what? Man, I'm telling you, the schedule, like lottery numbers, just keeps on moving. Knucklehead is here. What's up, Knucklehead? Ty, ring the bell. Yeah, man, you guys want to ring the bell? What's up? Mark's ringing the bell. What's up, Mark? Oh, thank you, Mark. All right, let's put that back on the screen. Mark, Superflow Systems. You see the DC? You know why it says DC? Dispatch Center. What's Dispatch Center? Well, I think you should find out. You type in dispatchcenter.com. It's part of the Superflow Systems family of end-to-end software solutions in auto transport. Mobile apps, dashboard, CRM, getting truckers paid, end-to-end software solutions. So thank you so much, Mark. That is super cool, buddy. Bruce Anthony Buffer is an American professional mixed martial arts ring announcer. Okay, let's get ready to rumble. Thank you, man. That's super cool. That is funny, dude. Oh, man, I'm telling you. Sometimes you just, sometimes you just end up on the right side of the traffic, as the tortoise said to the hare. Oh my gosh, look at this. Andrew Serica, this stuff is priceless. Jay, you work hard to put out this content. People in the chat donate what you can. $5 helps. Wow, Andrew. Andrew's absolutely right. I'll tell you, and thank you so much for the generosity. It is amazing this is really neat that this is show number 161 on a Tuesday night in a row. I've been going live every Tuesday night now for over 3 years. And it means a lot, Andrew, for the recognition, the contribution, the participation, and all those other... thank you. I'm speechless. I really appreciate that. That's super cool. It is 8:13, and we'll keep ringing the bell as needed, but it is now time. You know what's up next is we're going to go into industry news. I do have quite a bit of industry news, so we got to get through that. So I tell you what, here's another word of information. End-to-end car shipping solutions. When we come back, we're going to go into industry news. Please stick. Yes, thank you again. That is That is the Acertus end-to-end software solution suite of services. Do you know all that Acertus does? First, you go to acertusdelivers.com and you find out. You see the menu, see the list. Vehicle transport, vehicle storage, title and registration, maintenance, care and compliance, final mile delivery. So if you have an FMC or a large nationwide organization of vehicle fleet management needs, Acertus. Go to acertusdelivers.com and find out how they can serve you all across the board. We are going into industry news. I just want to say again, thank you, Andrew. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you so much. That's super cool, buddy. Let's do some industry news. Okay, so bring up the industry news slide. And what do we got first? I love to start with, this is the video thumbnail. This is what this show is all about tonight. Automotive Market Insight with Black Book. We talked about who Black Book is and what they do. Here's some slides from their market report. Now, this is last week's. Okay, what do we got here? Wholesale, week-over-week depreciation rates. How about delinquencies in automotive lending? How about current wholesale market overview? We talk about the auto transport industry ecosystem. OEMs, auctions, dealers, shippers. I put this slide together. And week after week, I try to identify where we are in the slide and what we're going to talk about. Tonight, most of it, we're going to talk about most of it. Because you've got values and volumes that affect, as we go back to the purpose of auto transport intel, we're talking about carriers. Without the carrier, none of this gets moved. And so that's what we're going to try to focus on tonight. Paul has designed a state-of-the-market slide deck specifically for us in the car shipping industry. And so he's going to bring that to us. This, in fact, okay, you're going to see a video here in a little bit. I edited, man, I've been busy today with LinkedIn posts and Ty's making videos. This is a slide from a video you're going to see later before I bring in Paul and Laura and Alex. What we did is we pulled up the Black Book Market Update PDF on Cars on the Move on Friday when we were live. We were talking about it. And then, by the way, this is an image from the one they released today. They release it weekly. Go to blackbook.com. You can download the PDF. So here is Ty. It was snowing yesterday. So yesterday it's snowing, and he's out running around out there, talking to other car haulers. Rain or shine, Ty the transport guy, live on ATI, helping deliver the message. Here's him today. Check out that lore. He met a guy, and they were talking. The guy really likes his lore trailer. That's what I found so interesting in this video. He loves his new trailer. Is it new, Ty? How long has he had this? I'm curious. We're going to find out later. Here's a message Ty got. I think he got this today. This guy says he pulled a sly Ty move. He's been talking to this Chevy dealer in Vegas, and he connected the managers to his Chevy dealer here. And they are buddies now, and he got a load to swap 4 trades, pays twice what he gets for this run, probably off load boards, right? Get your own customer. 2 days of footwork caused me to go from I have no cars and no money to how am I going to get it all done? Thanks for the continued advice. Good job, Ty. That is awesome, bro. What a testimony. Shared by Anthony Montero on LinkedIn. If you missed the show where Anthony Montero from Draver was on talking about all that Draver does, check that out. Find that on LinkedIn. Okay, let me talk about what this is. Now, Ty was saying, you know what, Jay? You know why some people get confused by what you talk about on Auto Transport Intel? Because we talk about these things. We have these strategy phone calls. Like, man, I don't know if that made sense to everybody. And he pointed something out. So I made a graphic for it. Is that on Auto Transport Intel, you'll find Ty in the transport parking lot talking about what people in the back lot understand and do. And I keep talking about the front side of the dealership, where the customers are and what's happening. So I'm in the front, Ty's in the back, and we are covering all of it. So if something doesn't make sense, think about it. Are you in the back lot or are you in the front lot? Because that might help. Thank you, Ty, for pointing that out. So helpful, buddy. This was last week, the Certus Driver Operations show. I recommend checking that out. Thanks for the email today, Dwayne. That was a great show. Now, we're trying to keep up on everything. Is this front lot or is this back lot? Carvana Access. Have you seen this? Put in CarvanaAccess.com and read about how they're talking about the new way to buy wholesale. This will get some people's attention. What about car lots? What's car lots up to? Buy, sell, trade, or consign? Not only what's car lots up to, but who's moving their cars, right? Car offer, car lots, Carvana. Used car consignment store Car Lots agrees deal to go public. So Car Lots will be the third major U.S. online car seller to go public this year after Vroom and Shift, competing with Carvana. Or are they? Used car consignment. That's one of the interesting things. Who's competing with who? It's getting really messy. We're going to try to cover all that, because where are the cars? Speaking of, I pointed out in a podcast that I posted on LinkedIn, what happens when car dealers use digital auctions to buy one car at a time that are scattered all over the country? Well, thank you, Skip Kavanaugh. Nowhere to nowhere. It's the new big lane right now. Give Jay's channel a listen. Awesome, always some real talk. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Shoppers still skeptical about EVs. Found that interesting. Juxtaposed with new EV Hummer for $112,000. Okay. Well, at least it gets 350 miles on one charge. Detroit 3, keep masks on to keep plants running. Interesting. Toyota North America says it's back up to 94% capacity. Impressive. Good to know. How about mobile service? Have you seen this? Taking oil changes and recall fixes to customers' driveways. Let's go across the water. China focus. SAIC Motors self-operated shipping service carriers cars to Europe. And so this is a roll-on, roll-off. But is this an automated ship? The SAIC Anji Phoenix? It's going to shorten shipping time from China to Europe by a week. Okay. That's interesting. Something to consider. How about Tesla? Tesla reportedly exporting 7,000 Chinese-made cars to Europe. Who wants to talk about China? Exports of used cars are a pollution problem. Might this affect somebody's business? Maybe. Today there are about 1 billion cars on the road globally. Yeah, I know. Let that soak in. 1 billion cars on the road globally. Projected to double by 2050. Transportation already accounts for 1/4 of humanity's carbon dioxide emissions. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's real or fake, but I am saying I did read it. Because this is how you can get your car shipping news. Get it on the big screen. Put it on the big TV. The Car Should Be Business channel. Visit autotransportintel.com. Get the podcast. Get the roundtable. Sign up. That's only once a month. Or be an ATI insider. What is all that stuff? Ask us. We love talking about it. You saw earlier, I put it up there, the ATI insider. Get 20 minutes with Ty. Free car session on Cars on the Move. Join the ATI Slack member network. Get the email. When is the next Cars on the Move monthly roundtable? Monday, November 2nd, 7 p.m. Oh, shoot, that's Monday night. What are you guys going to do? What are you going to talk about? Moving cars, networking, growing business. It's that time. It's time again for ELD Punch. So I'll tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and grab a sip of punch. I want you to stick around because I'm going to be right back after this. You aren't going to want to miss it.
Have you checked out the latest updates from Dispatch Center? We have been busy perfecting workflows and adding new features. Keep an eye out for things such as upgraded messaging, advanced notifications, and self-dispatching. Our messaging center now sends emails and text messages to the admin when a message has been received. These notifications help to ensure a message is never missed. Advanced notifications are simply notifications that are sent out if one of the loads on your route has a price increase. Have you ever wished that you could dispatch a load without waiting for the broker to approve your request? This is now possible. Brokers and dealerships can enable self-dispatch on a carrier's account, allowing the carrier to complete a dispatch without manual approval from the posting company. This is a great time saver if you already have an established and trusting business relationship. Carriers, ask your favorite brokers and dealerships to mark you as self-dispatch today. Lastly, have you noticed related load suggestions when you use our search feature? These suggested loads are vehicles that fit within the route that you've searched and may be a great fit for any additional open spaces or your backhaul. Dispatch Center is constantly being updated and upgraded. Keep an eye out for emails detailing new features and tips.
That's Dispatch Center. Yes, Dispatch Center by Superflow Systems. Visit dispatchcenter.com. Are you looking for a way to manage your loads? A mobile app, a dashboard that works for you? Visit dispatchcenter.com. Visit superflowsystems.com. That's Superflow without the W. Now, the link to Dispatch Center is in the live chat. We're going to continue with industry news. Go ahead and check that out. So, TradeRev relaunches Move Metal Transport Guarantee. What is the Move Metal Transport Guarantee, you ask? Well, TradeRev, now that's Car Global, TradeRev is bringing back its Move Metal Transport Guarantee, which guarantees dealers that all vehicles purchased with transport in the app within 300 miles of their lot will arrive within 3 business days or fewer. If not, the delivery charge is free. It's free. Is that going to be free? I can handle 4 days for free. TradeRev is a digital marketplace platform of Car Global. Dealers can be confident that their purchases will arrive faster and retail ready for sale. To the Move Metal Guarantee, the company is also adding its 2020 flat fee shipping program. Here, let me zoom in. Can you read that? Which is available to all U.S.-based dealers. The program offers a substantial discount that it says is well below retail vehicle delivery pricing. Flat transport rates provide more control and transparency. Dealers see upfront pricing details before a bid is placed. Now, I don't know about you, but guarantee and flat transport fee always get my attention. So I'm going to keep reading. I'm just going to keep going. Oh, well now, who got this email from Ready Logistics, the Mannheim Auction Handshake Deals email? Now, I kind of went through this what we did is, I went through this in length on Dispatching Live last week. Now, I'm not going to say, go watch the video here, although I am saying go watch that video. Dispatching Live last week, and it's right there on the thumbnail, something about no handshake deals, because, so, I think what they're saying, and, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what they're saying is that, Mannheim auction handshake deals are not good. So anyways, let's see what people say about it. Yeah, let's see what the carriers say about it. They're getting hurt when transport companies get the loads from the dealers that's probably sitting on their board and cut out the middleman. And the reply was, well, as long as you bill the dealer direct and you can get paid direct, that's fine. Nobody's hurt. Ready Auto is getting upset because they're not getting a cut. I'm not even sure I understand the email, but it's got 2 likes. I'm with you. Almost sounds like they're saying all auction cars must go through their load board. Yeah, that's what I read. Allegedly. Yeah, someone had too much to drink before sending the email. That'd be speculation. Oh, here we go. Okay. Ready is asking carriers to make sure they have proper transport orders when being asked to transport inventory. Know who you are supposed to bill and get paid by in advance so you don't get stuck. All this is saying is, if it didn't go through Ready's system, Ready can't pay you. Yes, there are carriers trying to bill Ready for cars that never flowed through their system. And so this guy says, all right, you're missing the point. I think what she's saying is dealers are deadbeating carriers, who in turn are trying to bill Ready to get paid. Makes sense now. Very interesting. Okay. Good clarification. But, for the record, the email came off a bit strong. You know? When like your steak is cooked wrong and you just like, it just don't taste right. Right? Alright, BOL. Speaking of advice, alright, BOL. You want to put some short and sweet note on my BOL saying that no damage claims will be honored unless the damage is noted on this BOL. I need something that's short and professional. Protect the driver. There we go. This guy adds. Here we go. Put consignee and consignor agree on the condition of delivered vehicles at time of receipt and signature. Essentially, dude delivering and dude checking agree that any damage not on the signed page happened at some other time. Dude. Yeah, dude. Sounds good. Next slide, please. Okay. This carrier is pleading to the rest of the industry. He's got his rates in place. He knows his costs. He encourages other operators to do the same. Set your rates and stick with it. because we do have broker transparency. The law is right there, 49 CFR 371.3. You have the right to take advantage of that and have the broker submit the info to you. It's up to you. So do not let the broker... This here, he points out, so there was a lie going around. He knows 4 or 5 guys that would be willing to take a load if it paid right. And since it didn't pay right, since the broker didn't pay the carrier right, the broker's telling the shipper they couldn't find a truck. Yeah, we couldn't find a truck to do it for free. And that brings me back to guarantee and flat rate. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing it out. Because what you don't want to do is not only did you not make money, but you're the flip of the week. Holding up traffic. Don't be the flip of the week. In fact, Tom asks, hey Jay, is loading 4 to 5 vehicles on electric brake trailers and pulling it with a dually pickup chassis DOT compliant? I see these all the time and wonder why it's brutally unsafe and illegal behavior isn't stopped at the top of the DOT FMCSA compliance list to stop immediately. It's a good question, Tom. We're going to cover that on DOT compliance on, I think that's next Wednesday. In fact, there it is. DOT compliance, the new addition to Auto Transport Intel. It's every other week. So the next one is November 4th, 2020. You can set your reminder. It's on the YouTube page. Thank you for doing that. Visit landlinemedia.com. You ever check out Landline? Talking about the OIDA Chain Law Roundup 2020. That's going to come in handy. Who else saw the first snowflakes of 2020? Winter on the arrival. Oh, what is it? This is your, it's your 18-wheeler costume for Halloween. Is it still funny? I guess it's kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe. But you know what I did last year for Halloween special on Auto Transport Intel? Broker, carrier, dispatcher, or shipper. Guess which one it is. We went through the goblin outfits and the scary ghost, pirate, broker, carrier, dispatcher, or shipper. In fact, what we were talking about, that was an edit from the Our Dispatchers Illegal show. That was 1 year ago. Our Dispatchers Illegal? I tell you what, I think we're putting that to rest. But it stays heated. So I'm glad that Auto Transport Intel is here to try and share the information. Yes, we go live 4 times a week. Tuesday nights live kicks off the week. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be live with Ryan on auto conversion on the MTC show, and then DOT compliance and MTC switch off every other Wednesday. Dispatching Live is every Thursday at noon. Cars on the Move is every Friday at noon. Look for the dart on the dartboard. That's load board search advice, Dispatching Live. Cars on the Move, Fridays at noon, connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. Oh man, yes. You guys want to know what's coming up next? Are you curious? So you just saw, you saw that sneak peek? All right, let's go back to it. We already got the reveal. All right, so next week is going to be Jack Cooper careers. What's the week after that? Ooh, dealer vendor match with Paul Mayer. Booked this today. That was awesome. Thank you, Ty, for the connection. The week after that, we got CT Services and Relocation with CT Services. They acquired Auto and Boat in 2018. So Tom from Auto and Boat is going to be on with Dan Kennedy of CT Services. That's going to be an amazing show. Ooh, Auto IMS comes on in December. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel. The experiment is over, by the way. I am booking shows. I'm now booking into December. If you are looking to be a part of Auto Transport Intel and the Car Shipping Business Channel, the Car Shipping Business Channel, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, because this train is a-rolling. Really excited about what's happening, the information we're going to be bringing you. Yes, I haven't read the... Mike Phillips says, don't be the flip of the week. Yeah, Mike, nobody wants that. Nobody wants... Is that your first flip of the week that you've seen, Paul? The flip of the week's amazing. Actually, I started it. I mean, I just... That's what happens. I say these things casually, and then it becomes a meme or a thing. I don't know. We've had a lot of flips of the week on this show already. It's pretty crazy. Gerard says, boom. SoCal Trucking, what's up, homies? What's up, SoCal Trucking? Thanks for tuning in. All right, guys. Ooh, yeah, we haven't... how long has it been since we rang the bell? I'm dying to ring it. I am dying to ring the bell. Won't you help me? Will you help me ring the bell? You can ring it any time. We got another hour and a half to go. In fact, we are just getting started. I'll tell you what. Here's what's going to happen. I am going to... I'm going to play the... this is the Black Book video edit. This is from... If you missed Cars on the Move on Friday, when me and Ty was talking about it earlier, me and Ty were talking about Black Book and the market update. Well, you were right, Ty. I went to 38 minutes into that video. I found the edit. I put the edit together. And this is after I uploaded your video onto YouTube and updated it on LinkedIn. We've been busy today, brother. So here's the Black Book video edit. While I roll this video, Paul, Laura, Alex, Ty, and Mark, get ready, because you're going to be joining me very soon. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to talk for about, I think, like 30 minutes or so. Everybody's going to stick around as the party grows. We're going to bring in Ken from C4 Auto Group and Mike Phillips from McCloskey Motors. If you have auction, volume, value, dealer, OEM, carrier, broker, service questions, suggestions, or ideas, I want you to join the live chat. Put it in the live chat. Don't be shy. Ask your questions, because this is all about where are the cars? Where am I going to find the loads? How am I going to network? How am I going to build relationships at the auto auction if the physical auction doesn't happen anymore and everybody's buying digitally onesies, twosies across the planet? How am I going to network? How am I going to grow my business? We're going to be talking about all that tonight as we talk about these auto market trends and analyses and reports, etc. So get ready to join the party. Stick around. Here comes the video. We'll be right back. So they do like weekly market insights, and it's intense. Check this out. COVID-19 market insights for October 20. So this came out a few days ago, and you can download the PDF. I recommend that. Download a copy of the report. Click there. Get your own copy. 23 pages. 23-page in-depth analysis of what's going on in the automotive market. I mean, it's got a table of contents. It's insane. So
this is like gold bars, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. I'm starting to salivate.
It just keeps going. New, used, cars, trucks, you name it. Year over year auction. Like what Phil was talking about? Yeah. The MMR? Yeah. Go ahead and, Phil, you're going to want to download that 23-page PDF and try to, get some more of that information. So Black Book is going to be on the show Tuesday night. We're going to do the first market update on Auto Transport Intel with Black Book Tuesday night. And it's Tuesday night. It's here now. We're here. The moment is now. So what's going to happen very soon, you're going to hear the doorbell ring. The doorbell's going to ring. And we got Paul, Laura, Alex, Mark, and Ty all filing in. We're going to fill up this meeting. We're going to talk about Black Book Market Insight. And if you're in the live chat, please do say hello. Okay, there we go. Oh, yep, they're filing in. Let's see, we got Laura, we got Alex joining. What questions do you have? We know that you subscribe to these market reports. Who doesn't look up information daily, whether you look in the paper, whether you're looking on a video, whether you're looking on social media? Everybody is searching for the information that is going to help them either today, tonight, tomorrow morning, the next day, next week. Well, that is what Black Book does. Black Book makes sure. Oh, I hear audio. Somebody has the YouTube audio. because they're watching Auto Transport Intel, and that's good. I want you to watch. I want you to listen, and I want you to put your questions in the live chat. You hear the door happening? Everybody's filing in. The party's getting started. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to go to the live Zoom meeting where Black Book is walking in. Somebody's got the audio, but I don't know who it is. It could be Mark, it could be Ty, newbies. All right, here we go. That's good. We're live on Auto Transport Intel. It's Black Book. We've got Paul Machin, Laura Wehunt, Alex Yurchenko on screen now. Can you guys see me and hear me okay?
Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
Hey, good. Paul, how are you?
Good, Jay. Good to hear you. Hey, Mark. Laura, Alex, thanks for joining.
Wow.
Hello.
Laura, you can hear us okay?
I can hear you.
All right. And Alex, I heard you. Ty.
Good evening.
Mark. So we're here.
Hello.
We did it. We're live on Auto Transport Intel, and we're going to talk about, what are we talking about tonight? Guys, what are we doing tonight?
All things related to the automotive industry. Basically, if you are servicing the automotive industry in any vertical, the depth and breadth of what Black Book provides the industry can help drive some key critical decisions, which improve profitability, efficiencies, and effectiveness.
So do me a favor. So thank you, Paul, for taking the lead. Paul, do me a favor. Introduce yourself to the Tuesday Nights Live audience and tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Sure. Paul Machin, I'm with Black Book. I'm the strategic director for U.S. and international accounts. We typically, Black Book is known to be just a book, but we have migrated to a data and analysis platform that is really be an industry game-changing platform. My personal history, 15 years as running dealerships, having a small dealership myself, and the last 15 years on the SaaS and DaaS side of the business. You know, selling the technologies that use the data that makes everything run efficiently. And now we're on the DaaS side. It's the data that actually promotes the ability for technology to work. You know, if you got bad data, you get bad technology.
Right, and so as we know, it's not just the market information, but you had a list of web APIs, right, that you can feed to technology companies, who isn't using data or technology in their business. I'm not sure if there's anybody left not doing that. Right, and so that's part of what you all do at Black Book. And let's go ahead and, at this point, Laura, you want to say hello and tell us more about what you do?
Hi, everybody. Sure. So I am at Black Book. We've got an art and science approach to our data. So I lead the art side of the business. And so my team goes out to auctions during normal times. Right now, we're stuck in our home offices, as you can see. But we go out to the auctions, we talk to the dealers, we talk to the remarketers, we talk to the auction personnel, and we just get a feel for what's going on in the market. And we take those external factors that impact the market and we feed those back to our data science team, which is led by Alex.
Right, which brings us to Alex. Alex, please say hello and tell us a little bit more about the data science.
Hello, everyone. I'm leading our data science team, so I'm working closely with Laura. So everything data, from pricing, volume, on retail side, wholesale side. So every piece of data is valuable, and we power the industry.
Right. I mean, Black Book is Paul, you were talking about how long Black Book has been around. What's the year on that?
1955.
1955.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Kind of a bedrock in the automotive vertical, in the automotive industry.
Right. Before I follow up on 1955, Ty, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good. You were busy today. What were you doing today?
Just out in the transport parking lot, like always, rolling around.
It was cold out there today.
It was cold and wet. Yesterday, the
I
snow
had to get my
wasn't that
jacket on after seeing that.
Yeah, that was cold.
I mean,
I just go ahead.
You could see the snowflakes.
Oh, that was the day before. Yeah, that was cold. Today to me was a little worse because when it's wet out, you can't avoid getting your hands wet. And once your hands are wet, you're done. So, but no, I just was actually up at the airport, ran across these guys, saw him out in the middle of the street, and this is what I like about what I do is I actually do what I tell people to do. So these guys are like, I want to be a car hauler. Well, have you talked to a car hauler? No. So anyway, I just randomly saw these guys, and I always tell people, dude, there's a ton of cars to move in an airport. There's the fleet, the rental cars. And so I'm literally up at the airport. I don't know, just messing around. I drive by, see this guy jump out. I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And but anyway, I mean, I could have stood there and talked to the guy for an hour and got a lot of information, but just basically it's what I do, Jay. It's like we always talk about. I'm in the back. I'm rolling around the transport parking lot. I'm shaking hands. I'm in the snow, in the mud, in the dirt. And I'm demonstrating. I'm showing this is car hauling. There's nothing easy about it. No. So that's what I've been doing.
And that guy was passionate. Was that a new trailer for him?
Yeah, the guy today, that was Jerome. Just met him. He works there. I think the company, I didn't want to get too much into it, but I think it was Autos in Motion, and 30 years doing it and still doing it and still out there having fun. So it was good to meet him.
He was a cool guy. I'd love to see more of him on the show.
Yeah, and back to the trailer, the equipment. I hadn't been around a Lore trailer, so that was the 80-footer, the truck package. After we cut the video and everything, I kind of got to check out a little closer. It's pretty impressive trailer.
It made me think of Christina Lloyd, who we met at one of the trade shows. And isn't that cool? Like, that's part of the magic. Is that when you talk, the more people you talk to, and then when you find out who, they know somebody that you know, or you see them again at a trade show. I want to see everybody here at a trade show next year. Okay. Yeah. Can we do that?
We can figure something out.
Can we see trade shows happen again next year? Market Superflow, how are you doing, buddy? Thanks for.
I am good, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
You're in the live chat. Ringing the bell.
Yep. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you.
Ty started it. So.
Thank you for doing that, Ty. I really appreciate it. Okay, so 1955. By the way, it's those web APIs. That's something that's right up your alley, isn't it, Mark?
Yes, actually, Paul gave us some access to the APIs the end of last week, and our development guys are busy at hand trying to see how we can implement some of those into Dispatch Center and some into Pro ABD. So kind of excited about that, seeing what we can do with that. They got great information, and I didn't realize really how powerful Black Book was, but and Ty's probably been around that a little bit more than I have, but you guys are impressive, very, very impressive. I really had no idea. So
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are way impressive. And as we go, I noticed something that was yesterday when I was out in the snow talking to that guy. And I hope that we'll get to it in a minute, but I want to let the show just unfold because this data thing and this impressiveness of Black Book, Jay left out the best part of that video. I was standing there telling him about the first time I ever saw Black Book. And I intentionally got a dealer's license just so I could get inside the auction to talk to dealers to haul their cars. That's why I got a dealer's license. So I'm standing there and all these old guys with the starched jeans. Laura, you know what I'm talking about. The guys with starch, this, 3/4 inch starch on the jeans and the shirt. Cowboy hat. And anyway, they got the Black Book in their back pocket. I said, it reminded me of a Skull can. They had literally this, and how do you get that? And well, you got to subscribe, you got to pay for it. Wow. Okay. So anyway, that was 20 years ago. And I've just always they've always been around, always been a big name, and man, they got incredible information. So love you guys.
Thank you.
Perfect timing to jump into. Paul, do you want to bring up that here? Let me share. Let me enable screen sharing. Do you want to dive into some of that? What did you prepare for us? What do you have?
Quite a bit. Give me a second to get it up here for everyone. It's I'd like to make this conversational, so I will apologize. I'm very passionate about what we do, and it's easy for me to get excited and distracted. So I got a couple notes to keep me focused on what's important for our audience today.
Cool.
Obviously, we'll ask questions and we'll answer questions as we go through. And Alex and Laura will also be chiming in at certain intervals. So you mentioned 1955. As you see here, we're definitely more than just a book, as Ty mentioned. For me, it was my rite of passage, or that's still a rite of passage to get access to Black Book because of how special that is. And as you can see, we are so integrated in any vertical that service and caters the automotive. Our data is being used in different aspects within the industry, from shipping all the way down to insurance and everything in between. And I got to take a second and share what's been so exciting about this pandemic, right? It's always been said that it's an old saying, from ashes, new life grows. From chaos is new beginnings. I can tell you that every week, 3 to 5 new entrepreneurs, or my favorite, intrapreneurs, brilliant people who work for solid companies that say, I've got to find a way to provide a better solution, make a better widget to improve our business model. And they're reaching out to us to say, what can I do with your data? And what I love to share with them, think of us as soft clay. We're just clay. My data is clay. You are the expert maker of pots and pottery. You can shape our data into any manner you want. As you can see here, there's a lot of different variables. And every week, I'm being exposed to different ways that our data gets used.
Paul, can you go back a few slides? I think you skipped.
Oh, I went too fast, didn't I? There we go.
There you go.
There's the data. My apologies.
All right, and so by the way, I just want to say this is that this is fun, you guys, because we are right now we're feeling out how we're gonna continue doing this. The plan is to do more of these, and so this is live. I mean, can you feel it? Like, we're live right now. We're doing this, and so I just wanted to say that as kind of the MC. What did that guy say? I'm the Bruce. What is it? The Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy?
Yeah, you're the MC.
All right.
So, can you guys still see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, what comes next in our data set? Let's talk about what's important to you guys. I'm hauling cars from point A to point B. What we're predicting that's coming for the rest of this year, first half of 2021, is an incredible influx of used vehicle inventory. And we expect that to last well into the first half of 2021, from prolonged lease returns to I hate to say this, repossessions, off-lease vehicles. It's going to be a tremendous opportunity for you guys in the industry that are driving and hauling these vehicles to take advantage of that. So to make the case for repo and haulers, I'm going to invite Alex to talk about the economic conditions and micro and macroeconomic factors that influence that.
Yeah,
Alex,
we're looking at macro factors, and here on this slide, as probably everyone knows, the unemployment just skyrocketed when the economy closed, and still, 31 weeks later, we still have record initial unemployment claims that we show here. It's been decreasing gradually, but we're still above what we had in Great Recession 12 years ago. So numbers are just staggering, and all of that is all of these type of analysis is part of our recipe. We look at macroeconomic factors and we drive vehicles. Laura's team is testing vehicles. Well, used to test before the corona, but we're looking from what's on the vehicle to what's going on in the economy. Here we're just looking at unemployment numbers. Again, we are gradually improving since April, but we're still above anything that we've seen in decade. With numbers are still large, and that's one of the reasons we think that delinquencies and repossessions is going to go up this year and in 2021. Economy is improving, but not fast enough. And what we see here is consumer confidence. And when consumers are not sure what's going on in the economy, they're going to pull back on big purchases, so vehicle purchases. So if you look, the first gray area is what we had in 2008, 2009. We had a relatively gradual decrease in consumer confidence, and then it took 6-7 years to recover. We are just at the beginning right now. Consumer confidence is very low, so that's the right side of this graph. It dropped in April and May, recovered a little bit. The federal stimulus was very instrumental to keep economy going and give some confidence and cash to consumers. And yeah, this is we're looking at delinquencies. Hardships. Many lenders and I believe most of the captives, instead of repossessing vehicles, and in most of the states, I believe that was a moratorium on the repossessions. They put consumers in hardship status, so it doesn't go on your credit score. It allows you to skip some payments, but the numbers are, if I remember, right now we are at 800% increase compared to last year. So large number of accounts, large number of consumers are still being affected by the pandemic and slowdown in the economy.
If I may add on that, Alex, one of the things that's been phenomenal about understanding what's happening in the market, since the very first issue that we put out in the market for the COVID market weekly update, we have been discussing a certain price point, a particular type of used vehicle that will be pure gold in the coming market, and that is that sub $10,000 price range vehicle, 6 years or older, that's in great condition. And we all know what the industry's like at auctions. That vehicle comes through the lane, it's commanding gold-like prices, but you don't get those kind of vehicles often. And I believe that there needs to be a transition that dealers need to make, that auctions need to make, and that there are companies that we're engaging with today that are trying to figure out ways to source that special vehicle. What they will need is who's going to help them get that vehicle from point A to point B. And it may not be a full load. It's going to be, as Ty had mentioned earlier, that 1Z, 2Z, or even 3 vehicles at a time. Or maybe you get sent to pick up a vehicle while you're there. You're getting to see at the customer's driveway because they have that under $10,000 vehicle that's 6 years of age and older in great shape. They just want to sell it to get some cash because they need it with the come-in market. You're a driver. You're there picking up a vehicle delivered to a dealer. What if you had a hot list from your dealerships and you looked at it and said, this vehicle that the customer did not tell my dealer about is in this driveway. Mr. Customer, can I make an offer for that vehicle there too? I might be able to write you a check for that one as well. Just a what if. That's the kind of information that we put out there, that if you put your thinking cap on, get outside of your little box and think broad, think big, throw stuff against the wall. If it sticks, you might have a winner. You only need one great idea, but you need data to make those ideas work. So the next graph we have, it's gas prices, good sign for car haulers. We anticipate that prices are going to maintain at the level they are for quite some time. So it's to your advantage that A, we have an influx of vehicles coming in used that need to be transported from A to Z, and B, get busy. take advantage of all you can because you got gas prices at an all-time low. That is something that you can plan for. I have an expression that I tell my wife all the time. Why do I stay busy? I tell her, I say, baby, I got to get it when I can get it because there's going to be a time I can't get it. And that's when I need to be conservative. So right now, I'm wide open. And that's what you guys got to be doing. You got to be wide open. So coming into the next segment, I want to introduce you to Laura. Laura is our artist side of Black Book.
Thanks, Paul. So this is a look at our weekly wholesale price changes. And so we really started out the year, and I'm sure you saw in your own business that the market started off strong. Sales were going well early in the year at the auctions. Values were increasing early. And then when everything started to close down, that's when we really saw values fall. And then we had this really strong summer. Again, I'm sure you've all been reaping the benefits of that this summer with the increased demand for transportation. As we've been heading into the fall, we're seeing traditional seasonal softening in the market. And right now, we've been seeing some lower sales rates, and we've also got a view of that and how that's been trending. I think as we move forward, the sales rates will increase as our values continue to decrease, as we see remarketers adjusting their floors. And so more buyers and sellers are coming into equilibrium there with the price they're willing to pay and the price they're willing to accept. And we'll again continue to move a lot of cars for the remainder of the year as prices continue to fall.
And as we talk to a lot of remarketers, fleet companies, captives, banks, their major concern over summer and into the fall is transportation. How do we move all of those vehicles? The demand over summer, we see that large peak over summer months. Demand for vehicles was strong, fueled by stimulus, but supply was limited. So moving vehicles was very, very important. And with all of the stay-at-home orders, all the quarantines, the logistics, that transportation piece was extremely important. And talking, it's more, I guess, anecdotal evidence. The prices to move those vehicles went up over the summer. Obviously, the remarketers and fleet companies were complaining about it, but I'm sure it was helping a lot of transportation companies.
So as for what we've been hearing and seeing on the lanes, as I just kind of talked about, where we're seeing some changes in our sales rates, where we've got a little bit of a disconnect with buyers and sellers right now as the market is softening up. I do think that's going to get better. We're already hearing from dealers that they're starting to send unwanted inventory back to the lane. So over the summer, dealers really saw inventory as any inventory was good inventory, even if it wasn't in their traditional wheelhouse. And so now, as the market is settling back into a more normal behavior, they are starting to send some of those unwanted units back to auction. So great news, continued volume will be coming into the market. This is a look at how our wholesale volume has changed throughout the year. So we started out the year with more volume than we would typically have, so compared to 2019. And then, as the pandemic set in and we all, everybody went home and businesses shut down, we really saw that sales volume just plummet. There was not much that was moving at that point. And then again, as I'm sure many of you saw, as things started to come back, that demand came back, volume was strong, but it was a bit short-lived in that the demand was so strong that the volume started to decline, and we were seeing a lot of the other channels seeing a lot of growth that we were not seeing at the auction. So not as many vehicles are making it to auction. A lot of purchases made by grounding dealers with those off-lease vehicles that were happening. We also had a lot of growth in like dealer-to-dealer channels and other direct-to-dealer sales. So still ways these vehicles still had to be moved. So all good things for you guys for over the summer and for the future. This is a look at our historical, our sales rates. So percentage of sold vehicles at auction. So we obviously had that large dip, and then we've rebounded nicely, and it has started to decline. leading up into Labor Day and post Labor Day. But as remarketers are adjusting their floors, we're seeing that sale rate start to slowly come back. Everybody has a different strategy. Some of them are not adjusting floors yet. They're holding really firm, and so they're seeing some higher no sale rates right now. Others, they are adjusting. We're hearing from remarketers that they've got more inventory on the horizon that's going to be coming back, and so they're having to adjust. So again, really good news for you guys. We've still got a lot of volume that's going to be coming into the market.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great segue into the used vehicle retail inventory and what can be expected for the rest of the year going into 2021. As Laura had mentioned, that many dealers have been reporting a shortage of used inventory in the wholesale marketplace. And we've been experiencing some incredibly smart dealers and dealer groups that have figured out ways to source inventory directly from their own backyard by creating We Buy Cars types of portals. And I know of 2 other companies that have recently come out, and Ty mentioned one driver, created a deal transfer-like, Uber-like platform to be able to shuttle those onesie, twosie vehicles to be able to meet the used vehicle retail inventory that must be, that's the lifeblood. If there are no sales, you don't need inventory. If there's not enough inventory, you struggle to make sales. It's like the chicken or the egg. You've got to create demand in one side first before we can get to the other side. And this is one of those slides that demonstrates when sales dip, the market suffers all the way around. But at the same time, we have a unique set of metrics to look at. Year over year change in retail listing metrics. Let me explain what we mean by that. Daily, we monitor between 14 to 15 million new car and independent websites, dealership websites. We're not looking at AutoTrader, Cars.com and whatnot. We tend to go straight to the dealership websites because that's where they list their inventory. They list all their inventory there, even those vehicles that they never get to make it listed on AutoTrader or Cars.com, because when they put it on their website, it gets sold within a few days. So we monitor all the VDPs as well as the VIN number. We're looking for that VIN number that we haven't seen before. After we say it goes in our data bank. Why is that important to you? Is it gives you a sense of the trend as you see in the market. You see a nice uptick in our data points here, going up in October, and my expectations in November, you're going to see a lift. In December, you're going to see a lift. So right now, we may be 3% lower than we were last year, but I believe, and the data sure shows, that we're going in the right trajectory, and the planning must be in place. Think about it this way. You got to get the vehicles picked up and delivered. They got to be remarketed some way, somehow. They got to go through a reconditioning process. They have to get condition grade reports and inspections for resale. Someone needs to be able to capitalize on some process improvements that technology and data can improve and change and meet today's demand. What you see here is the case of why dealers will be focusing more to buy used cars the rest of this year and majority of 2021. No secret, we left 2019, 17 million used new vehicles, almost another record. That kind of number has been pretty strong for us the last couple of years. What doesn't get talked about is that consistently in the used car market space, we sell between 40 and 45 million used vehicles every single year. That number's split pretty evenly between new car franchise dealers and independent dealers. I believe that's going to transition to even more this year. The reason is we're anticipating to finish this year at under 14 million new vehicle sales. The average dealer today, new car dealer, sells about 130 new and used a month. They don't care the blend. The OEM cares that they would like to see more new cars than used. But going into 2021, if they don't have the new car inventory to meet the demand, they're going to still get to 130 new and used sales, just going to be heavily weighted more to used. And the inventory will be there for them to do that. The dependency is how quickly can they get the cars? How can they trust the condition grades that they're getting from the auctions? Well, maybe a driver picking up those vehicles can also do another condition grade and certify. I don't know, just an idea that you guys might be able to consider. When you take a look, that 15.3 million is what's anticipated in new car sales for 2021. That's not enough for the new car dealer market. They will figure out a way to sell more used vehicles. They just need your help to get their hands on them. Short lease, and so that makes a great case for our next topic. Where are those cars coming from? So, Alex already talked about the delayed, OEMs asking people to stay in their leases a little longer. We were projecting to have about 4.1 million vehicles returned. We are anticipating that so far, before the end of the year's over, we should see about 560,000 units that should be delivered into the auctions. Many times, off these vehicles, the grounding dealer, as Laura mentioned earlier, tends to keep that vehicle. What if that's a customer who does not want to go to the dealership to turn in their vehicle? And the dealership, being short-staffed, may not be able to pick it up. There is a resource, an opportunity, again, for transportation, logistics, to be able to fill that need and do it compliant, contactless, frictionless. And while you're in the process of doing it, how can you help the dealer find more available inventory? This is a topic here that's sensitive because we know a lot of people that might be in these positions. We have an unparalleled market today. It was instituted, it was mandated. It was not a failure of an economic system. So we have a lot of people that are being hurt right now because of this man-made shutdown. So what does that mean? A potential, Alex, if I remember right, a record for us in repossessions?
That's a projection for next year, yeah.
Right, for next year. So think about that. What does that mean for, again, remarketing, storage and warehousing of those vehicles, collection services that are related to picking up those vehicles? And then as you pick those vehicles up, you got to think about the COVID-19 fear that's in the marketplace. The opportunity to turn this into an upside is incredible. Lenders are now they started this process of restrictions on guidelines for financing. So that means that it's going to be more valuable to have the right year model, make, and mileage combination at the right price to help a customer who's now considered a subprime customer. The dealer who gets their hands on more of those vehicles will be able to meet the stricter credit requirements that are coming out to be able to get finance on those vehicles. Rental unit returns. So we already talked about off-lease, grounding vehicles. We talked about repossessions that's coming into the market. Now let's talk about the rental units that's out there. Air travel is down, as you can see, by more than 70%. It's going to be 2023, 2024, some of the predictions before travel gets back to those levels. But there's inventory that needs to hit the market now. So those cars are going to be getting into the market. And again, how can we help the dealers get their hands on those vehicles quicker, faster, and easier? And also understand the actual trim level, features, and options that belong on that vehicle. At that point, that condition inspection, when you pick up the vehicle, is critical for you. When you deliver the vehicle, the delivery inspection, make sure the vehicle is equipped as it is and that the dealer gets it as they call it, is critical. Now, if I'm correct, I know Manheim launched a condition report. They're upgrading it to meet the needs because dealers are requiring much more accurate condition reports. And there's probably one person that's more well suited to deliver that is the delivery driver, the final inspection that goes on the vehicle before it gets to the dealer. And you take a look going into 2023, how can dealers find more vehicles? How can you help them find more vehicles? That's something we got to think about and talk about outside of the box. Alex and Laura put this slide together, and this is long-term projections on inventory. You'll notice that it goes out to 2024. And these are up to 8-year-old vehicles. The demand for those vehicles that are 6 years or older is just going to explode. And you can see the dip in 2009 when the first depression happened. You see the dip when we started again with our shutdowns in 2020, down 7% versus over here, 8% over here for 2009. And the influx of that vehicle, because there's less leases, there's less new vehicles being sold, there's less rentals being put in the market. Eventually, the increase in inventory we have for the next year is going to start getting smaller and smaller. However, that inventory is sitting in people's driveways. You will find incredibly smart people that are in the market that will figure out a way to tap that resource. If they're not going to the auctions, how can we get them? Carvana's doing it. Drive Time's doing it. CarMax is doing it. Vroom is doing it. Pedal is doing it. Get a Car's doing it. AutoNation is now doing it. They're planning to open up 100 locations within the next year. That is a market that is totally dependent on the logistics of getting that vehicle from point A to point B and doing it in such a way that you might be the end-all condition assessment assignee. Alex, Laura, do you guys have anything to add to that?
I think you covered it, Paul.
So
did a
Jay,
great job.
Wow.
Thank you.
What? I took down several notes, and we got a couple questions from the live chat. So I suppose the ball is in my court to figure out what to do next. I think what we should do is let's try to get to a couple questions, and then we'll move to a couple notes. Silvermint in the live chat Silvermint asked, okay, where is the easiest, most profit? Just jumping right into it. Where is the easiest, most profit? Retail, wholesale, or the lender? Who wants to try to answer that?
The easiest, let me restate that.
Yes.
He's asking, is the most profit made lender, retail, or wholesale?
Yes.
All right. So I was raised in a business that your profit's made when you buy the vehicle. That's what I was told. But we saw a drastic change in that this summer. The value of wholesale, because of the scarcity of inventory, both on a new and used car side, dealers were paying more money for a used vehicle and then having to recondition it, that their margins were compressed. Now you have today, we have a margin compression syndrome that's impacting the wholesale side, the retail side, and the finance side. So the strategy is we've got to maximize the right vehicle at the right price, at the right time, at the right location, have the most effective and efficient means to deliver that vehicle, and then the fastest way to get that car retail ready. And we all know there are three companies right now that's their expertise is reconditioning. To get that car, once it hits the lot, they want it retail ready the next day. So I would think that question is a great question 2 years ago. But right now, with what's happening in the market, I think that's margin compression is impacting all three categories.
I think that, yeah, as you say, margin compression. Yeah, Ty.
Okay. That was great, Paul, Laura, and Alex. This amazing information. So as a car hauler guy, back end guy, the transport parking lot, I was at America's Auto Auction today, and I ran into Tim, who we had that interview with last Friday on the Cars on the Move show. Anyway, we got to talk, and I apologize for putting him on the spot because Jay was talking about remarketing. And this, in my opinion, okay, when we talk about repos, for example, I'm sitting here thinking about this friend of mine, Jeannie Sharamonti, Bank of America, president of remarketing over, I guess, the United States. I'm thinking one of the conversations I had with her, it's been years ago, was, is there any way you could get the repo guys at the repo lot to loosen up a little bit? It would really help. We could move a lot more cars a lot faster. So as we were having this discussion, listening to Paul and the repo side of this, okay, here's this huge influx of cars. As a carrier, I'm the back end guy. I'm not the front end guy. I'm not going to go to your house. I'm not going to try to get a value on your car. I'm not going to be the guy in the rollback. I'm the guy that picks up 180 cars and moves them overnight. That's my gang, right? So I'm thinking, okay, you got these repo guys that nobody's ever gotten along with at all. You're going to have 1.9 million repos coming in. And I'm thinking, where are they going to go? If you can get them from the repo guy whose hours happen to be Monday and Friday, 1 to 1:30, and if it's raining, you're out of luck, right? And getting your semi in there to get one car and dealing with that guy has always been a train wreck. So I'm sitting here like, okay, 1.9 million cars. Okay, where are you going to take them? Because nobody's going to the auctions anymore, at least not some of the auctions, some of the independents there. I mean, it's really messing my head up, because what I've seen is this huge, disruption. Everybody's selling them out of the backyard. Everybody's trying to buy them out of the driveway. Okay, which way are we going? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Is there going to be,
with all this data, where are we going?
Well, will that be one of the next big things where you've got digital auctions for dealerships? Are there digital repo auctions from the repo lot? Does that exist?
No, because the ones I know of, and again, I'm not, I come from Joplin, Missouri. That's where I'm from. Drive down to Jonesboro, Arkansas, in the woods, in the sticks, and meet the repo dude and get the 2 cars out and get them up to the auction, because the Bank of America or the fleet account manager is literally screaming, "Where are my cars? I assigned them to you 4 days ago. Give me my cars." I've been there 8 times. The repo dude will not cooperate. What do I got to say to get that through your head?
And that's part of it too. Will we see some advancement on this front, rather than, because I got my repo hammer around here somewhere, and I got that because I kept complaining to Don, who's this driver I worked with, and I said, "Man, booking these repos making me nuts, because they're only open 2 hours a week, and they don't want to pay the $100 to winch it on." He's like, "You got to get that winch fee." I'm like, "Well, they don't want to give it. They'll give us an extra $5." He said, "Well, tell you what, get you a hammer. And every time you think about booking a repo, I want you to whack yourself on the hand with your hammer." And so I got a hammer laying around here called the Repo hammer, and but that's going to have to change. I'm going to have to put the Repo hammer away.
Well, I'm not trying to get into the I'm just saying, look, this is incredible information that is very powerful, and I think it's very accurate. I think it's very true. I can't wait to get the dealer guys on here and get their take on this stuff. I'm sure they've got plenty to talk about. But
talking to some big lenders, they're expecting delays from getting the vehicle from a customer to actually get into the auction. I'm sure they're already trying to rent space somewhere, and it's going to be over winter, so it's additional concern as what's going to happen to those vehicles sitting somewhere in the parking lot for a month.
And the repo lot, they'll tell you, they're in the back, they're by the fence. We can't get to that one for 2 weeks. It's wrapped around a tree stump, and there's 4 feet of snow, and you got chuck holes the size of moon craters right? That's the reality. So when you see those numbers and you add that reality, it sure does get interesting.
But that's where someone like Mark comes in. Mark's working on, I don't know about Repo, but I don't know any one large provider in the nation that's working on a concept yet. But that's something, Mark, you might be able to tackle. It is a need. That's the reason why I pointed it out. It is a absolute need. It needs to be streamlined. Think about everybody who has a financial investment in that repossession to get it cleaned and ready and all the way back to retail again. There's a financial need that someone will pay for.
Right. So, okay, this is great. So we're talking about repos and this. Now, the other day I'm in the snow and I'm talking to this guy, never met him before. Where did you come from? Detroit. Now, I know this because I've done this long enough. I looked at the cars. I didn't make a comment, but I saw the sticker on the car. And I know what the sticker said. And years ago, it was not a mystery as to why those cars came from Detroit to Kansas City. Late model, low miles, call them fleet cars, call them whatever you want, right? It was no mystery back then why those cars came from here to there, because I thought Paul was in the back with his paper black book and making deals with the big remarketing companies. The prices of those particular cars that came from Detroit down to Kansas City will bring more money in Kansas City than they will in Detroit, right?
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense today because we all have data and everybody can buy a car anywhere. So if I'm sitting in my office and I got 8 screens and I'm buying cars all over God's country and I've got black book data that's accurate, why does a fleet company need to pay a transport company to pick up 100 cars in Detroit and bring them to Kansas City? I don't understand that.
You still have auctions.
Do what? What do you say?
Still at auction.
Still
Well,
an auction?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Okay.
instead of
So-
selling one car, you bring hundreds of them to the auction and wholesale them there.
And that brings us to the topic, load the truck. So what I did is I just sent the invites to Mike and Ken to join us on the dealer end, because I think it's in summation, what I kept hearing is dealer. Talk to the dealers. In fact, you know what? Monday night on Cars on the Move, for anybody that says, when we're gonna hit them upside the head, I don't know what I'm gonna say to a dealer. Really? Because we just learned for 30 minutes all the data points you can hit upon with the dealer, and we might go back through it. How to break down some of those data points. One of the things that Paul keeps talking about, and he's on to something, is the future is sitting in the customer's driveway. Ty, have you heard anybody else say this? Because the thing is, then I read an article, Paul, where they were talking about that. Paul is at the tip of the spear. Is there a solution? Does a solution exist right now that would actually say, hey, customer, I'm near your house. I see your car in your driveway. You want to talk turkey? Maybe it's called talkturkey.com.
Well, here's an idea for you. And I thought this just came the other day because of Jay's always talking this is what I call front end stuff. I don't want to mess with this. I don't want to go to your driveway. I don't want to deal with your car. I just want to go to the auction, pick up your stuff and drop it off at the dealer. So one of the things that he was talking about this, help me, Jay. This front end delivery stuff and the back end delivery stuff. I was saying there's not, if I were the guy that needed cars, here's what I would do. I would go to the banks, the lenders, the financial institutions, and I would say, I'll pay you to give me the list of the cars you're about to repo. Ooh. I would take that list and I would start calling people and saying, I will be happy to buy your car that's about to get repoed. Now, the beautiful part about that is we just kicked out the goofy repo dude that is so hard to get along with.
Oh, man. Where's my repo hammer? By the way, I think Talk Turkey is a perfect name for this app. What's up, Mike? Mike, you're with us live? You've been in the live chat all night. We finally brought you into the party.
I've mostly been in the live chat. Hey, Ty, thanks for the invite, Ty and Jay, and unbelievable information that all of you are. I'm just looking around the screen rather than making contact here.
Right.
That you guys are bringing. Seriously, I feel like I just sat in on a session at like NIADA or NADA. That's the quality of info that was provided. I thought it was really good stuff. It's a lot.
I agree, because then you were connecting data points when you nailed it down to vehicles up to 8 years old. Like, who else has that specific of data? And then your projections of up to 5 years, right? Like, yeah. I'm taking the notes. Customer's driveway. Oh, how about those dealer website listing data measurements? Wow.
Interestingly, as you were saying that, because I caught probably 95% of what you guys were talking about. I was trying to get logged into my website from home to compare some of the data that we have because like this is a really data rich conversation. And so I'm very much, I work for an independent dealer, just so you guys that are on the panel, I know I've been here some before, but I'm with an independent dealer in Colorado Springs. So we do about 150 used cars a month. Our owner is Joe McCloskey, who's I guess it would be incumbent president of NIADA, incoming next year and so forth. So we're really heavily involved in used cars and independence and so forth. And so as I was listening to you guys speak, it's one of those things to compare what's all the data and then what I'm experiencing, kind of boots on the ground. And it's like, man, it's right on the money, 8-year-old and 10-year-old vehicles and what people are looking for. One of the interesting pieces, hey, Ken is with us. One of the interesting things is, and it was nice to hear when you were saying, because I hadn't considered it. I hadn't connected the dots, but it makes total sense when you're talking about, well, hey, you're going to see repossessions break loose. And yeah, it's a crappy thing to talk about, but it is a reality, So just kudos to you guys. I don't have enough nice things to say. It was a lot of data, but it was really good information. So
I want to jump on that too. I mean, you had many slides that, as you continued, really started to fill in parts of the picture. So thanks for customizing that for us. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And you guys, as you started, Jay, you showed them the blackbook.com, and we post every week our insights and resources on there. Plus, please share your emails with me. I'll include you on my weekly mailer that I put out there, and make sure that you guys get updated. And I always like to offer my services as an industry veteran and a diehard. I'm a consummate professional about wanting to learn more. I love spending time with people who have ideas. If you want to have a think tank session, a brainstorm session of what can you do, invite me. I'd love to be able to have that conversation with you.
Also say on there, so we had a question in the chat about the specialty market, so collectible cars, and we've also got monthly editions of the COVID updates for our specialty market. So that's going to be medium and heavy duty trucks and commercial trailers. That is going to be power sports, RVs, and collectible cars.
So where would I go to see that? Can I click on something to go to that?
Yeah, so that one should be in this same section. So if you can kind of scroll down just a bit, there we go. So on 10.9, do you see that one that says to the left?
Yep. Oh, specialty, thank you.
And so there's a section for each of our specialty markets. So to answer the question about collectible cars, you're absolutely right. The market has not seen the same fluctuations in pricing for collectible cars. That market has still remained pretty stable. Now we have seen values and demand skyrocket for RVs and for power sports. So those markets have been really interesting to watch throughout the pandemic.
People like their toys.
Yes. Yeah. They're providing a socially distant activity, and people are making use of them.
Right.
That was a good catch.
That was a good catch. Wow, thank you, Laura. Yeah. Any advice on how to navigate? Because that's the thing. I went to the latest market report, and I never left it because I'm like, okay, yeah, 23 pages later, right?
Yeah, the specialty one's pretty long too. Yeah, we don't want to hold anything back. There's just so much to share with you guys.
When there's a table of contents, you know that it's legit.
No, it is.
We were asked to make it shorter.
No, it was longer before.
Oh yeah.
Hey Ken.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Ken.
Hey, how are you?
I want to know what you thought of that, Ken.
I hate to admit it, I got on late. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
I had some friends over from dinner. I'm sorry.
That's fantastic. Hey, so how's your Tuesday, Ken?
It's awesome so far.
Good. Yeah. This is good, man.
Yeah. Good Tuesday.
Good Tuesday. Thanks for coming, Ken.
Amen to that.
Thanks for letting me be here.
So, Paul, could you just recap real quick? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's get a quick recap.
Well, hey, I want to know, Ken, what do you see in your world? are you finding inventory? Prices high? What's happening?
Oh, well, so here's kind of just an interesting deal. So I think I'm the best car buyer in the world. I deem myself that because last week I went to KCI Auto Auction in Kansas City. And I had 7 ifs, okay? And out of 7, I got 1. So I figured I must be one of the best buyers in the world. I was buying cheap, but couldn't get it done. I think guys right now are still, pretty proud of their inventory. Don't blame them. I would be too, quite frankly. I've sold some stuff on Backlot, which has become more of a formidable auction platform, and it's not going away. But I would say this: at some point, it's got to break loose, but I don't see it breaking loose for a while, in my opinion. And I could be wrong, but
are you seeing more cars at auctions?
Still there.
Are you seeing more cars at auctions or less cars? Same.
I'm seeing a little uptick, but not the volumes that we once saw. If you're seeing more cars at auction, it's because they're letting smaller independents throw stuff in there that maybe they didn't prior to. You know what I mean? So, I think there's still a pretty hefty retail market out there. So I don't know. I think it's going to come back, but I still think we're a ways out.
Had any more postcarding issues?
Oh God. No.
You guys know what postcarding is?
Talk about it, please.
Get that. Tell us, Ken.
So postcarding is the car is sitting in St. Joe, Missouri. It's being auctioned through an auction house in St. Louis, Missouri. So you purchase the vehicle thinking, oh, I'll pick that up in St. Louis, no big deal. Well, guess what? Nope, it's actually in St. Joe, Missouri. So now your whole, I'll get it picked up on Thursday here on Saturday morning. Well, heck no. Now you're thinking, oh my gosh, now I got to get it picked up in St. Joe and brought here. So just kind of throws you off. So you really got to be paying attention when you're bidding on something where it actually resides at.
Which brings us to Mark. Better auction to transport tools in the software. It seems to be growing. Am I right?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And as long as I've known Ty, he's always said, "What do the dealers want before their repossessions, before COVID? I need my cars. I'm paying interest. I need my cars. I need my cars now." And when you have the variations in pricing for the vehicle and the margin for the dealer is tight, and the one thing that being able to supply the transportation cost, if it's in St. Joe, Missouri versus St. Louis, Missouri, you should know what that transportation cost is. We have the software for that, and we have some APIs for that are, you're going to start seeing that instant pricing for where the vehicle is. And then if you tie in that transportation cost to the value of the cost or the vehicle in Kansas City versus Detroit, now you know your margin. You know your margin better. You know what you can make, and it's all important. And knowing what that is and being able to facilitate the transport. How much variation in transportation costs were there from February to today? It was all across the board, and the amount that you paid for a vehicle and now the cost of the transportation and having that factored in correctly and accurately at the time to know what the transporter is going to take to make that transport happen. You don't get the delays in transportation time. You don't lose the interest. You don't lose the time and the value of the vehicle as it's sitting on an auction lot waiting for a transporter because it's priced incorrectly, or that as the dealership needs it, he needs to get it. So
because as we know, if you're guessing at your transport fee, or you've undercut it, and then you
flat rate it. You
right.
can't flat rate it.
See,
you cannot flat rate it.
You mean guarantee and flat rate doesn't always work? It can work. But I like to point out things that maybe aren't.
If there's no trending in the market, if everything is flatline, maybe a flat rate works. But when you have trending in the prices that the dealerships are paying for their inventory, and trending in prices of what the transportation cost is, flat pricing doesn't work, and historic pricing does not work. That right, is
again,
historic pricing would not work.
It's a data error to show numbers that you can rely on that maybe worked, yes, in a non-curve. It's really interesting you point that, because I took a note, Laura, when you were talking. So in that June to September time frame, that was when transporters. I think I did a show on Dispatching Live and called it Transporter's Paradise, because which is not something you could say very often. But yeah, I mean, it was finally the time to start getting some money back and squirrel it away. And that's where, during that time, if you had a guaranteed flat fee, you were taking a bath, right?
Getting killed.
And in fact, we were reading that. Somebody pointed out on
if you were the transporter, you're getting killed. If you're the dealership, you're not getting your inventory picked up. So it was bad on both fronts. That is bad on both fronts. It's not the solution that people should be seeking today.
Because do you say on a car? How about this, on a car sale? We don't have MMR anymore. It's just a flat number. No, those numbers fluctuate every day, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to get that in there. We did get Andrew's question about enclosed dealer website listings. The car is sitting in the customer's driveway. I'm still really curious. What are we going to see on this customer's driveway inventory.com initiative? Where does this go? Nothing.
We're talking to some startups that's where they're trying to source their cars. Dealers talking to a lot of dealers. Laura's talking to a lot of dealers. They're open to a lot of new channels that a year ago may not be as popular. Dealer-to-dealer networks, but also directly from consumers, sometimes through lenders, sometimes directly to talking to consumers. So it's digital world is being pushed by COVID. So more and more activities online as opposed to physical auctions.
Right. So,
but
the digital dealer auction, the digital auction happening from the dealer's lot. We're going to see it from the repo lot. We're going to see it from the customer's driveway. Is it literally wherever the car is now? That's where it's going to sell from. Who?
I think that's where we're seeing it go.
That's it, huh?
For sure.
I mean, it could be. We have the connectivity for it, and I don't think. I mean, given if from a dealer's perspective, if we can get a good idea of what it is that we're getting, in most cases we don't care where it's coming from. Like, you know, I mean, 'cause I think Paul said it earlier. Like, ultimately, what do we have to worry about? Mark said just a minute ago, hey, we have to be able to get the car. Paul said it earlier that then, you know, we have to be able to recondition it and do all the necessary things so that we can move it to the front of the lot. We don't necessarily care the starting point of destination, if that's where you're getting at. You know, like what's the starting point? There's so many different avenues right now that have been introduced. And one of the interesting things, and I've talked about this from Ryan and I have talked about this on one of his podcasts, that it's like one of the things that's unique is once everybody, dealers, wholesalers, transporters, the books have had to evolve. You know, we've had conversations with KBB as well and so forth. Not to get into a competitor, but we've had these conversations, and one of the things, there's been such an evolution starting in March and April, especially April. There's been such an evolution when it comes to whatever the consumer side is. Like for us, business to customer, when it comes to a lot of the guys that are on this, or gals that are on this panel, or the people that watch your show, Jay, B2B sort of relationships, there is no going back from the digital society that's been created. So it's not like, oh yeah, well, no, we can't do that anymore. It's maybe we don't want to, but there's no returning to pre-COVID, because everybody's been thrust into that so quickly, so rapidly, and we've all had to evolve. At this point, it's like, I mean, we are where we are. So what is each person, what is each business, what are corporations, etc., going to do to be able to maximize that and still provide, a good service to whoever their end user is? Because, the unique thing is you have dealers on this panel. For me, like I said at the beginning, I'm boots on the ground. I'm talking to frontline customers. I do digital marketing in this space, versus, Black Book, who we're their customer, or many people are their customers, certainly. But one of you said earlier, like, we're in there every week. Transporters, dealers are the customer, auctions, transporters are the customer. And so you have all these different dynamics that are somewhat integrated. So one of the unique things, at least from my perspective where I'm sitting, there's this 360-degree look of there's no returning to where we were at before. So how do you maximize where we're at now and going forward? If that makes sense.
It does. I was just highlighting some things. Lenders, OEM incentives, cars falling harder than trucks and SUV. Alex, I think that this was some of your data. Do you want to recap any of that?
So in the last 6-8 weeks, we've seen the market slowing down and declining. And if you just look at the average value, it looks like last 3-4 years. But what we've seen is that smaller cars, smaller SUVs are declining much faster than the market, and full-size SUVs, especially full-size trucks, is still very popular and relatively strong. So you have, on average, market is behaving as it used to, but if you start looking at individual segments, it's a very different picture.
So I was talking about last week and trying to buy some vehicles in Kansas City, and the trucks, I predominantly go for trucks just because I'm in truck country. You got to have them. What I found really interesting is there was a 2010 Dodge 1500 Laramie, 97,000 miles, NADA, which is all of our banks here in Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Kansas, name it, use NADA to establish value and loan. Had a 2010 Laramie 1500, 98,000 miles. Retail was $15,900. The guy paid $15,000. So, by the time you pay your buy fee, so now you're at $15,400. Even if he's local, you still have $100 in time tied up going and getting it, and then you got your overhead. I'm trying to figure out how guys are how they can't be that much better of a salesperson or marketer than I am. I mean, the market will bear what it will bear. So how does that work?
We've seen this on a larger scale over the summer, where wholesale prices just went through the roof.
Right.
Retail prices did not go that high.
Right.
And then what we saw at big dealers, CarMax and others, they increased the volume of vehicles sold, but profit per vehicle dropped in Q2. So they were going for volume, not necessarily for profit. Now it's changing a little bit. So now we see wholesale prices dropping, but retail prices are still relatively strong, especially for this time of the year. So I'm assuming that margins are improving for dealers right now.
Yeah, I just don't know. There's not much meat on that bone.
But there's exception. Full size trucks is still exception.
Well, I guess, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
I bought
a lot of people thinking
28
on the back end too, finding other ways of, the upsells, the warranties, the, whatever they can add on to make the money. It's not necessarily on the base sale.
Right.
And also using it as to get a potential trade. So again, trying to secure inventory. So just other ways of moving the money around.
Right. And I get, all of that, it just, to me, I bought a 2018 Ford F-150. I bought it 3,000 back a rough trade, and so I'm like, I guess, was that great? Was it bad? I don't know. In today's market, all I know is I go to like Auto Trader, Car Guru. I see what everybody else is asking for them. If I'm three grand back a rough trade, I have the potential of making a quarter pounder on that one, $2,500. But, you got to find that right person. I just think it's really interesting. Guys are paying all the money, and you're right. Those add-ons, the warranties, the financing, the undercoat. I get it, but it's just nutty when you think about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, have the banks loosened up some lending on that to if the retail price somebody's having to pay more, or the banks lending straight off the NADA, or are they adding some flexibility to that now?
They're adding some minimal. Yeah. But my banker and I are really good friends. We talk frequently because I'm always asking for more money. I mean, of course, but he was even talking to another guy, and he's like, I'm seeing the prices go up, and they're nervous. How are we going to protect ourselves if it falls out a year from now? It's kind of it's a tough market, but he's got to loan money to make money, so it's weird.
In our area, I think we are seeing. We do have banks, and again, where we're at in Colorado, most lenders will use, NADA as a base, or some will look at Kelley Blue Book. We do have the flexibility with a lot of lenders, especially credit unions, that they'll use auction slips and they'll use Black Book as well. One of the advantages one of the luxuries we've always had is shopping the books and to see, and not to give you guys, or hell, we'll give you guys a free plug, right? You're on the show tonight, Black Book. One of the advantages that they do have, that we consistently have seen they have over the other organizations that provide book values, is the fact that you guys do update weekly. We see that, and I think Kelley Blue Book's going to that for us now. NADA, where we're at, we're still seeing it on a monthly basis, and so, depending on the lender, I think, Mark, you were who asked, are we seeing some flexibility? Yeah, within reason, but if you can show what you purchased the vehicle for, and there's something within the realm of possibility in the book, we're having that conversation. We would rather make the money on the vehicle than the additional products. Laura, you brought that up. It's like, yeah, certainly there's other ways to show profitability and make money and provide good quality customer service and all of the things that surround that. But ultimately, we want to buy the product, sell the product for a profit, and then make the additional funds and so forth. And I will tell you, if like for us, with the auction fees on the and or transport fees, we do a lot through ADESA. If it's printed on the purchase slip or whatnot, then we're able to use that in a lot of instances, probably 30 to 50% of instances, not 100% of the time, but we do have the opportunity to do that. So
Mike, have you seen auction fees go up over the last 6 months?
No, not where we're at. We don't do a ton through. I've said before, that's one of the unique things. Ty keeps inviting me on the show, but one of the unique things, we leverage a lot of dealer relationships, and we do buy a lot of cars off of the street for our facilities. As far as auction fees, where we're at, I have a buyer separately that does the negotiation for that and so forth, but we haven't seen an increase individually. Ken, no.
What about you, Ken?
I have
What have you seen?
Manheim. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, we don't buy at Manheim at all. We broke up with them.
I'm done.
We broke up with them a long time ago.
Yeah.
They were a bad relationship, man.
Yeah.
Just call it like it is. Me and Cox Automotive, we're not homies. Like between Auto Trader, I'm not afraid to say that on your show, Jay. And I've said that before. I've said that. I think I've said that with. I think I've said that with Cox folks. We just rejoined Auto Trader, and I love my Auto Trader rep, but I do not love their corporate philosophies.
Yeah.
And, in a lot of different things. I think I shared with you guys, this may be a little bit off the subject, but like we got onto Dealer Track in 2012, 2013. And it seems like every time our dealer transitions into, hey, we're going to get onto this new product, Cox comes in and buys them out. We can't get away from it. So, and are there some good products? Yeah, absolutely. But we quit doing the purchases with Manheim probably 2 years ago, and it was because of auction fees, non-disclosure of items that were on vehicles that were required disclosure and so forth. And then we were finding out, and I'm again just speaking very frankly here, there was stuff that came up and it was like it wasn't cool, so we broke up with them probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Well, I can tell you, this is one of my strategies going into this next year. I was semi-partnered with a gentleman older than myself. Ty knows him. He was here out of our hometown, and then I decided to go on my own because I just, I knew what it took to sell a car, as far as like from marketing on Facebook, the posting, all the things you got to do today. I mean, it's essential. But I really believe the market and where, if you want to get deals, and this was proven to me about 2 weeks ago, is small dealerships out there have dated inventory. They know that they can send it to the auction, but they're going to get horrible run numbers, everything else. I'm really going to just start picking up the phone, calling independents like myself, saying, "What do you got sitting on the lot?"
Okay.
I'll have a guy over there tomorrow morning to pick it up if it's the right deal. To get away from that Manheim stuff. Manheim, basically, I bought a $4,000 car at Manheim and I paid $390 in fees. I mean, doesn't make sense.
No. Well, I mean, that's one of and again, Viato, which is also now owned by Cox.
Yes.
You can't get away. Guys.
No.
But Black Book's not owned by Cox yet, are they? I'm just
not
checking.
Yet.
Okay. Notice everyone says not yet, kind of
yet.
with a half grin, like, so yeah, I mean, we use Viato and we do the same thing, Ken. What we'll do is, if we're shopping for vehicles, oftentimes, and I shouldn't even say this, but I'll share it out loud, we'll plug in a vehicle. Like if we're looking for Ford F-150s and we need this year model and so on and so forth, we'll plug it in as if it's a trade. So we put it in as if it's an appraisal through Viato and let it search to compare to what else is out there in the market. Then we'll look at those dealers, and if a dealer has one that's been in stock for 98 days, 141 days or whatnot, we'll pick up the phone and we will absolutely do exactly like what it is that Ken's saying. Hey man, you've had this car in stock for a while. What do you sell it to me for? Saves you the auction fees, get you a car that's already been reconditioned. So one of the pieces, and Ty, you'll love to hear this, is what do you have to do? You still have to transport the car from that dealer to my dealer to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
After assessing the value in Black Book, of course.
There you go. It's good.
Oh,
it's some really
Paul's
interesting
muted.
conversation.
Wait, Paul's got some wisdom. He's got to unmute.
No, I wanted to, it's funny you bring that up, Mike, is that I have some new startups that's been their focus, is using our retail market insights to create a technology that will do just what you just decided to do, to buy direct, dealer to dealers network, so to speak.
Well, besides that, there's two networks that I know of that right now are, Amanda in the chat says sharing secrets. She knows how I roll. There's two networks that I know of that actually do scraping of regular consumer vehicles, like individual private postings and so forth. They'll scrape the vehicle, determine what they believe the value is to be. If it's within that value, they drop it onto a dealership dashboard, and then the dealer can decide whether to buy direct from that consumer as well. Again, at the end of the day, we're on Auto Transport Intel. What do you have to do? Oftentimes, if you're buying out of area, you've got to get it transported there. If it's local, then yeah, we hire drivers or do whatever it may be. But there are different avenues that we're looking at. Okay, well, what is NADA? What's Kelley Blue Book? What's Black Book? Those are our three that we always go to and look at. So it's like, well, where does this score? Because we do have lenders that exclusively will use Black Book as well, and data. And so, like Ken, what you're saying here a minute ago, where you're saying, hey, are some of these banks loosening up at NADA? It might be worthwhile for dealers to ask, hey, are you willing to use Black Book? Look, I have another publication that is real time. It shows up once a week. They've got all this data. This is what's actually happening in the market. This is what happens at the auction. This is what other dealers are doing. This is what consumer vehicles are selling for. Would you consider using this? Ty says it over and over again. One of the things that we fail to use in the auto industry, we're really good at establishing relationships, and then we suck at leveraging those relationships oftentimes. So I get going on these rants. You just got to go with me.
I know, and I'm liking it. And the thing is, what's interesting is, as everything is changing. Oh, who's talking? Paul? Paul.
Yeah, I was going to say something real quick.
Yeah.
Mike, we update our data daily. Now, if you're on our API, it's updated 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. Every day.
We get it fed through Viato, so I think we get it. And again, bear with me. I'm not saying to misspeak something. I'm in the digital marketing arena. I've been in the car industry for 17 years, but the last 3 pretty exclusively on the back end of like Google and Facebook and so forth, versus on car valuation. So I mean, for me, from when I was using that data, it was more real time then. So if you're saying, hey, we're doing it daily now, it's you're having somebody that looks at it. Why wouldn't it? To me, looking from somebody asked earlier, well, what makes more money? And I was thinking at it probably in a different sense, retail, wholesale, lender side, right? From the lender side, what would be more valuable than getting a real-time valuation of what a large publication thinks that it's worth, or what I shouldn't say thinks, right? Because that imparts opinion, but all of the data that they've provided, if you watch the front end of the show, says that the car is worth what they say. Ty, you're smiling because you know exactly where I'm going with it, man. So it's like, I that's all I got. I'm going to mute my mic again for a minute.
Okay, Ken, you take over, Ken.
Ken, back to you.
And what automotive correspondent. Speaking of, back to Ken, is that one of the topics in the design of this show was dealer pain.
Oh yeah.
Right? And it's not just dealer pain, but dealer transportation pain. I'm not sure which pain is bigger right now. Which pain is bigger right now, Ken?
Here's what's funny. If I'm buying cars out of Dallas, I now have my handful of guys I go to. I still maintain an account with Central Dispatch, but in all fairness, I really want to know who's picking my stuff up, because I'm kind of a control freak that way. As from a transport perspective, I don't really have any complaints. My guys do great. Matt with Matt's Transport, very receptive, good, lets me know what's happening. I think if anything, I'll tell you, okay, so I will tell you, I don't have a pain, but I have a story, and I love stories. So sold a car, and a guy comes in to pick this car up to take to another dealer in Lawton, Oklahoma. And he pulls up with a trailer that's got a single car trailer, 3,500 pound axles, about 18 foot, pulling with a platinum F250 pulling it. In my mind, I know the guy probably paid somewhere around $300 to get the car to him. in my mind, I'm figuring that guy's probably going to get 260, 250, something like that. I don't know how guys that with that type of a setup can make money in the transport. I mean, it seems like to me it would be virtually impossible. And if that's all you got, that's all you got. If you're willing to sleep in the truck and do what you got to do, so be it. But you know, that to me, God bless him for working hard, but man, is that really going to pay the bills at the end of the day? I don't know.
Right. We, you know what? We appreciate you're even asking that, because I feel like I keep seeing data that says nobody asked. Yeah, just send it. You know, it's cheap, whatever. Well, we cover that on Dispatching Live. We look on the load boards and there's 29 cents a mile. 29 cents a mile. The button shouldn't even work when you go to hit submit.
Yeah. Well, in my background, I think I've said this before. I was in freight for years. And, you know, I've gone to South Florida, deadheaded up to Jacksonville to pick up cypress mulch for 91 cents a mile, which my operating costs were $1.14. So I literally had the opportunity to pay somebody to haul their freight. Made a lot of sense, didn't it? But, you know, in those scenarios, I don't see how small guys like that can make it, because by the time you add fuel, tolls, all the wear and tear, it's concerning to me. But he was young and ready to do it, and I was like, God bless you. Get to a lot and don't wreck, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's to be continued. That's why we have Cars on the Move monthly roundtable Monday night. Did you know that was Monday night, Ty?
Yeah, I did.
This coming Monday is the next Cars on the Move monthly roundtable, and it's mostly carriers in there, but we encourage anybody that I don't know from where it'll come next, but it's mostly carriers. It's a small group. Let's talk about that for a minute, and then we're going to thank everybody and call it a night. This has been amazing.
I was told we were here for the 24-hour stream.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of like it's kind of like a transport quarantine live.
Transport quarantine live. We'll be concluding tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
I better go put pants on for this.
Please donate in the chat. Any amount will do.
Exactly. We'll be ringing the bell all night.
That's right.
Ringing the bell. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and just tell Paul, that was amazing information. You did a fantastic job presenting it. Thank you for having Laura and Alex come on. That was cool. And especially thanks Ken and Mike. And you guys have no idea how much this means to me, because you guys are dealers. This is what we talk about. It's so good to hear your perspective on what's really happening at your store, what's really happening on the ground. And, you know, Laura, she's the arts, so she's the one that's at the auctions and talking to you guys. And so I think even for, you know, I know for me, anytime I'm at an auction, I get to see somebody. It's not, hey, how you doing? It's give me a hug and love you and miss you and how's the wife and kids. But
are you doing 6-foot hugs during quarantine?
No.
The 6-foot hugs?
No, we're from the Midwest, okay? You might be careful. You might get a kiss.
I'm down, man. I listen, if you're out here in the Springs, let's go, Ty, right?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
I don't want the kiss. The hug's cool.
Okay. Ken knows that.
Where are you located at?
What's that?
Mike, where are you located at?
I'm in Colorado Springs. We're about an hour south of Denver, Colorado Springs. And like I said, we have two showrooms, multiple mechanic points and so forth, multiple service centers, and we do about 150 used cars a month.
Okay.
Pretty consistently. We're when I was listening to Paul talk earlier, and I know you guys are trying to conclude this, but as we were talking, and I'm talking with Ryan tomorrow as well, you know, we've seen it ease up a little bit this month. And so I was really excited as you were talking about that. I was like, man, I didn't consider this, or I didn't consider that. And I know, Ken, you're saying, hey, you see that going on further. If I hadn't tuned in and heard some of Paul's data earlier, I'd feel the same way. You know, I'm just speaking very frankly, because it's like, man, we see what's right in front of us, right? And so we're going, man, it's kind of tightened up a little bit. Like the pent up demand has gone away a little bit. People's liquid income has gone a little bit away from a B2C standpoint. And so that was a few of the things that you mentioned over the course of that was like, man, that's as far as dealers are concerned, when we're talking about it on the front line, it was like, man, I hadn't considered that. That's actually really good news. So that was good info. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ty, Mike, and
yes,
it was good.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for so much time tonight. I have to let you go at this point, but thank you so much, Paul. It means so much to us.
Yeah, it does. Thanks, Paul.
Guys.
Thank you, guys.
Touch. And on that note, let everybody go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for a great panel discussion. Mark, Superflow Systems, Ken, C4 Auto Group, Ty, CTS Coaching, Paul, Laura, Alex from Black Book. That was amazing. I'm ending the meeting now. It's official. The meeting is over. And that means it's the end of the Black Book Market Insight Show. That's the end of this. Is episode 161. Let me check this. Mike, check. How's that audio? My audio changes throughout the show, even though you can see that I didn't move. I didn't change anything. Let's see here. Let's raise it up here. Mike, check. Anyways, I'm saying goodnight, so you know what? That's fine if the audio is a little different. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. But that was something we've been trying to put together, something I was looking forward to, and I could see from the attendance and the content, yes, we're now, the content on this channel it keeps on skyrocketing. We are now competing with virtual events that are happening, and that is amazing. Here on Auto Transport Intel. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel. The goal here is to continue with the content and the information. Every Tuesday night, experts, interviews. Next Tuesday night is Jack Cooper Careers. That's going to be a great show. Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, DOT compliance, especially if you're starting out. Make sure you know those crucial proper weight distribution, your CDL requirements, what's going on with the IRP and the IFTA, etc. But yeah, no proper loading. Do not be the next flip of the week. Tune in for DOT compliance. Every Thursday at noon, we do dispatching live, load board search advice. Join. Tell us your route. We're live for 90 minutes. We're looking at the load boards and we're breaking it down and we're giving pro tips on how to get the most when you're booking cars off of load boards. Every Friday is Cars on the Move, live with Ty, the transport guy in the transport parking lot. You saw him here, and he wasn't in the parking lot, right? It's evening. He's actually out of the parking lot. But when he's in the lot, when he's live at the auction and talking about dealers, has amazing content. Last Friday, we had a tour at America's Auto Auction in Kansas City. I mean, it wasn't like a planned tour, but when Ty is at the auction, he knows everybody. He knows all the rooms and what's going on. Great show. You want to check that out. I want to thank Sue from Murphy Auto Transport. If you're looking for a dispatch service, check in with Sue, Murphy Auto Transport. She's live with me every Thursday on Dispatching Live. I want to thank Mark, Superflow Systems. If you're looking for end-to-end software solutions or just part of the software solution, load board, dashboard, mobile app, CRM. He was talking about Transport Auto Quoter tonight. Get the accurate quote right away. His software knows what a carrier wants to charge to make money. It's not a guess, it's not an estimation, or some thrown around flat fee. It is the price, the going rate that the carrier needs and wants and expects to get paid. That's Transport Auto Quoter. Be sure to find out everything that Acertus does. Visit AcertusDelivers.com. Vehicle transport, vehicle storage, title and registration, care, compliance, final mile delivery. Thank you guys so much for joining the live chat tonight. Thank you for the super chats, the participation, the contributions, for ringing the bell, and for sticking around, and your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. Tell your friends. I want to see you every Tuesday night. I really appreciate it. I've been reading the live chat, and it means so much. Look at that. Gary P., priceless info. The audio's fine. Mic check. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate our viewers and live chat participants. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And we'll see you soon. You guys take care. Here comes the car hauler. Peace out.